Movie5 Global environmental status is revealed by Antarctic air. This is a helicopter shot of the entire East Ongol Island, where Syowa Station is located. Syowa Station is about 2 kilometers east to west and 1 kilometer north to south, and has over 60 observation facilities. The administration facility, where the Antarctic classes were held, is the base of life for the overwintering expedition for a year. The observation facility, located next to it, is where various components of the atmosphere are observed. At Syowa Station, the wind blows from the northeast throughout the year. The reason why the observation facility is located here is that the wind carries away some exhaust gases from the base. This is the best place to observe the cleanest air. We gave a class on the changes in CO2 concentration at Syowa Station. Mr. Masunaga, a member of the 55th overwintering expedition, who is on the left side, also appeared in the class. This is a picture of the northern sky seen from the roof of the observation facility at midnight on January 14. This is Antarctica, the furthest away from our civilized society and surrounded by the sea. It can be said that the air in this photograph is the cleanest on Earth. Let's look at the following video how CO2 concentration is observed at Syowa Station. Mr. Masunaga, who will observe CO2 concentration for the next year, shows me around the observation facility. Do you measure CO2 concentration in this facility? Yes, the air is collected from the top of the tower over there and drawn into this facility. Thank you very much for your time. This is the CO2 analyzer. Here is measured value of CO2. The current CO2 concentration is precisely measured by comparing this figure with a standard gas, which has a fixed concentration. The air entering the facility flows through this line to the analyzer. This equipment is called NDIR, which simply means that it emits infrared light and measures how much of that infrared light is absorbed. CO2 absorbs infrared rays? Yes, CO2 has a wavelength that absorbs infrared radiation, so the higher absorption, the higher CO2 concentration. What are the differences in CO2 concentrations between Antarctic and Arctic? This is the data comparison between Arctic and Antarctic up to 2008. The red line shows the data in the Arctic region, and the blue line in the Syowa Station. The data in the Arctic region has a large swing range, with high values being observed sometimes. That's because the Arctic data immediately reflects such influences as the effects of vegetation, volcanic activity due to the abundance of land in the northern hemisphere, economic activity in big cities, and periods when many cars drive around. In contrast, in the case of Antarctica, there are almost no creatures and there is little influence from such activities, so CO2 concentration rises with small swings. This is a characteristic of Antarctic data. Globally, CO2 concentrations are rising in the same way in both regions. Reversed directions of ups and downs at the same period are due to the opposite seasons in the northern and southern hemispheres. Inside the observation facility, Various analyzers are working and there is a loud noise all the time. Observation continues 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Look at the graph. The red line shows the data in Arctic. CO2 concentration in the atmosphere is easily affected by economic, volcanic and vegetation activity, and the range of annual fluctuation is very large. In contrast, the Syowa Station data shows a smaller range of annual fluctuation. Both data also show an annual increase. Then, why does the CO2 concentration at Syowa Station increase? The air in northern hemisphere slowly reaches Antarctica in a mixed state. Therefore, the change in CO2 concentration at Antarctica is a change in the average value for the entire planet, and tells us about the current state of the global environment. These graphs show the changes over the last 350,000 years in air temperature, CO2 concentration, and sea level height. The red areas represent the interglacial periods, times of high temperature, high CO2 concentration, and high sea level. These interglacial periods occurred in cycles of about 100,000 years. In addition, changes in temperature correlate very well with changes in CO2 concentration. Sea level changes lagged behind temperature changes. We Homo sapiens have existed for 200,000 years. The last 10,000 years was an interglacial period, when the climate was warm and stable. Under such an environment, human beings have developed rapidly and built various civilizations. Before the Industrial Revolution, which occurred about 200 years ago, CO2 concentration was less than 280 ppm. This is the change in CO2 concentration in the last 200 years. We can see that this is a rapid increase that has not occurred in the past several 100,000 years. This graph shows changes in CO2 concentration at Syowa Station for 30 years since 1984. Mr. Masunaga observed the year 2014-2015. Then in June 2016, the monthly average reached 400 ppm for the first time. The air in the northern hemisphere reaches Antarctica in a mixed state. This increase in CO2 concentration in Antarctica, where there are few sources of emissions nearby, means that CO2 concentration is increasing globally. This is the northern sky seen from the observation facility at Syowa Station that I showed you at the beginning of this video. This is Antarctica, the furthest away from our civilized society and surrounded by the sea. This picture shows the current state of the global environment. It means that the air of Antarctica is telling us the current state of the global environment.
This is a view of a glacier that we saw during field research. When I took this picture, I realized again that where I'm standing now was the bottom of a glacier 20,000 years ago. It has been almost 10 years since I gave my Antarctic classes, and there were many things that seemed like yesterday when I was making these videos. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to the many people who assisted me with Antarctic classes. Thank you very much. There is much in Antarctica that humans need to know for the future of our planet. I strongly felt that there are still things that need to be done to convey this message. If you can change your current behavior even little after watching these videos, I believe It will be the first step to change the future of the Earth. I really appreciate your long listening time. Thank you very much for watching until the end.